right, so I just have about 2 tomatoes that I sliced up. I'm gonna go ahead and try to sneak in a few more so we get some extra tomato flavor. And this is all on my non-greased sheet pan. All right, perfect. It's okay if they're, squeezed in there. We need tomatoes for this dish. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab a red bell pepper that I just cut in half, and that can just go right in the middle. I have an onion, red onion, and we are just going to kind of put pieces here and there on top of our tomatoes. Now, if you don't like onions, this is totally optional. I personally love onions, so I am gonna pile them on. I'm probably not gonna use this whole half onion, but I wanna make sure there's enough flavor to where I can taste that little bit of onion in there. Okay, beautiful. Now, you guys know my favorite ingredient, some garlic. I'm gonna use all of these garlics because like the onion, I wanna make sure I can taste that garlic flavor. Ooh, that was about 1 whole garlic. Now for some seasoning, I have some dried out basil leaves, and we're gonna take the top off of this because we need to taste that basil. This is gonna be delicious, you guys. It's starting off a little untraditional, but by the end of this recipe, you will be wanting more. Now I'm gonna do some paprika, however you say it. Do a nice sprinkle. I'm just eyeballing all the seasonings. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. I'll try to give you some, guesstimations for measurements. Now I'm gonna do some pepper right on top of the entire dish. Oh yeah. This is gonna be so flavorful. I'm so excited for you guys to see what we're cooking. I have some salt here. Ooh, the aroma from all of these seasonings are so strong and potent. It's gonna be delicious, you guys. Beautiful. All right, and that is it. We're gonna put this in the oven for about 40 minutes at 350. All right, these are nice and roasted, and we're gonna bring them to a pot real quick. Be careful when you are scooping this because you don't want any of that goodness to not get inside that pot. All right, we got all that in there. Now I'm gonna grab 1 can of vegetable broth. You could use chicken broth if you prefer that flavor, but I wanted to stick with the veggie theme. Beautiful. Now, before we do the fun step, we're gonna go ahead and turn on our stove to medium heat. And what I'm gonna bring in next is a hand mixer because we're gonna break apart all of that delicious roasted tomato. Hey, yes, it is gonna be messy, but all good things are messy, you guys. We want to make sure that everything is blended and chopped up, you guys. Oh, it's gonna be so good. There's that garlic, the tomato, the onion, oh, the bell pepper. You cannot forget that bell pepper. All right, you guys, that is looking perfect. Now we are gonna go ahead and let this heat up so we can have some delicious tomato soup for lunch. Ooh, I am so excited for our homemade tomato soup. Ooh, that looks so creamy and delicious. Oh, I cannot wait to give this a try. Let's stir it. Oh, it's thick, you guys. It is that thick tomato soup that you just want to make all year round. All right, let's grab a bowl and serve it up. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so good. I made a small portion because it's just for me and my fiance, but you can double it up if that's what you prefer. Put that right there for now. Call me crazy, but I love a little cream in my tomato soup. I know not everyone does, so I'm only putting it in my portion. Just a nice little sprinkle to give it like some color. And then finally, we have some bread to go right there. Look at our beautiful tomato soup lunch. I cannot wait to try this. I'm just gonna use my bread, soak it up. Oh yeah, get that tomato soup in there. I can't believe I made this. It tastes so good. Okay, we just have 1 bag of frozen broccoli, 16-ounce Velveeta.
Ooh, cheese and broccoli.
Cream of celery.
Cream of celery? I don't think I've seen cream of celery before. I like that.
There it goes.
Oh, yum.
It's super delicious.
Yes, I'm excited about this. Celery is really sweet. It's one of those underestimated veggies.
Yeah, just kind of make sure it's off the cheese because we want that cheese to melt.
Oh,
nice.
yeah, okay.
All right, and then we have some evaporated milk. That's just gonna make it nice and creamy. A little sweet to it. It's gonna be so good.
Delish.
Perfect.
Yummy.
All right, and then we're gonna use 3/4 of this family size mushroom.
Ooh,
cream of
family
mushroom.
size. Okay. That's the key, I think, right there. Making
Yeah.
sure you have enough of that. Wow, look at that.
It's gonna be so good.
Yes,
Okay,
I cannot
perfect.
wait to try this.
This is gonna be the best dinner for, you know, a nice cold winter day.
It is super cozy comfort food.
Yep, and it's all in your crock pot. I love crock pot meals because they're just so easy. You throw it in there, sit it, and forget it.
That's right. Oh my gosh, I love that too.
All right, and then I have some chopped onions. This is about half of an onion.
Okay.
You can skip this if you don't like onions, but I love onions.
Me too. Good for the heart.
Perfect. And then we're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and do some butter slices.
Okay.
We're gonna use half a stick of butter and just place it.
Are you using salted or unsalted?
I'm using salted, but if you don't want that much salt, you totally can use unsalted.
Okay. And those are kind of thick.
Yeah. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. The crock pot will just melt it so
Yes,
quick and
okay.
easy. All right, now let's season up this baby a little bit. I'm gonna do some pepper in there.
Okay. Oh yeah. Black pepper.
Yeah.
Yum.
This is a big crock pot, so you gotta make sure you season it a lot, okay? Don't be skimpy with the seasoning. You want a nicely seasoned soup.
That's right. No skimping.
All right, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of salt. If you don't want as much sodium, you can totally skip the salt, but you know, I really want a nice salty soup because it's better that way.
And it brings out the flavor in the broccoli for sure.
All right, and that is it. I'm gonna set my crock pot to high and we're gonna let it cook. All right, it's about halfway. We're gonna just give it a nice stir and then put the lid back on.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at the way it's melting.
Yeah, the cheese is almost melted. It definitely needs more time, but that butter just needs to be nicely mixed in.
Oh, it's like sizzling in some spots, which is really
Yeah.
nice. Beautiful.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yummy.
Nice mix. Oh, that cheese is just gonna melt and it's gonna make the perfect soup.
It smells so good.
Okay, that looks just mixed enough. Now we're gonna put the lid on for 1 more hour. Okay, it's ready.
Oh my goodness.
See, that is how we want it to look.
That is so beautiful and gourmet. I love it.
So I cooked it on high for 2 hours, but you can cook it on low for 4.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you know, when it's cooked, you can just set it on warm and then it'll be perfect for your dinner.
Yes, I love that. It's definitely such a great way to make dinner throughout the day.
Right? Our broccoli cheddar soup. Ooh, look at those chunks of broccoli. That's what I like in mine.
Me too. I guess you could use a puree or if you wanted to, if you wanted like cream of broccoli, not just like a broccoli cheddar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Gotta try this. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's so steamy. Cheddary goodness.
All right, with our gnocchi, I'm gonna add 1 rotisserie chicken that I shredded right in there. I have my stove on medium heat. Next, we're gonna add some shredded carrots, and we're gonna add about 2 cups of shredded carrots in there. Which is gonna be this whole bag. Perfect. Next, we're adding some baby spinach. We're gonna make sure this all gets nice and snug in there. The spinach will shrink, so keep that in mind. Beautiful. I have here 6 cups of chicken broth, and I did the 33% less sodium, and we're gonna pour that right in there. This is gonna be a super easy, super delicious soup. 1 pot soup that everyone will love. If you've ever had gnocchi, you will love this soup. It is so yummy. It's kind of like a take on the Olive Garden gnocchi soup, but it is gonna be so much better because it is homemade in your house, and it only takes about 15 minutes to throw together. So we're adding the whole 6 cups of our chicken broth right in there with our chicken, our carrots, our spinach. Now, if you don't like carrots and if you don't like spinach, you can, you know, substitute them for something you do like. Perfect. Now I'm coming in with 1 cup of heavy cream. This is gonna add some great flavor to our delicious soup. So good. Now to thicken up our broth and heavy cream, I have some mashed potatoes, the instant ones, and this is 4 ounces. And we're gonna put this whole bag of mashed potatoes into our soup. And I know that seems a little untraditional, but this is a great thickening agent. Now it's time to season this. So we're gonna add some Italian seasoning, and you can season this however you like with as much as you like, but this is gonna be a nice hearty bowl of soup. So we gotta make sure we add a good amount of soup seasoning to it. We're gonna do some garlic powder because it wouldn't be a Justine Cameron recipe without some garlic.
You love your garlic.
Oh yeah, and don't worry, we're gonna give this a mix. We're just gonna finish this off with, of course, a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. I cannot wait for this to be done. So let's go ahead and grab our spoon, and it is time to mix everything together. This is the biggest pot I own, so this is how I have to do it, but don't worry, this is gonna come together beautifully. All right, that is perfectly mixed together. It is time to put our lid on and let it cook for 15 minutes. All right, it's been 15 minutes on medium heat, and look at that. We're gonna go ahead and turn off the heat and give that a good mix. Oh my goodness, that looks absolutely delicious. Now, if you want it to be a little bit of a thicker soup, you can add more of that instant mashed potatoes. Maybe grab 2 bags. They're only $1 each, but I think this looks absolutely delicious. Woo! All right, it is time to give this a try. I have my bowl and my spoon here, and we're just gonna fill her up.
Yeah, make sure you get all that chicken in there.
Yeah, so good. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. Well, it's gonna be a little hot, but it's gonna be delicious. Oh, it smells like chicken noodle soup. I'm ready.
Is it good?
That is incredible. So good. All right, we're starting off with 3 pounds of our diced frozen potatoes in our crock pot. Now I'm coming in with 1.5 pounds of cooked hot Italian sausage. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. And I did drain that grease, so we don't have any grease in there. Beautiful. I have 1 onion that I diced up, and we're just gonna sprinkle that right on top. I used a white onion, but you can use a yellow or a purple for this easy crock pot dinner. I'm gonna season this up with my ranch seasoning, and I got the garlic ranch because if you're gonna do ranch, you might as well do garlic ranch, because what is better than ranch and garlic together?
I had no clue they had that.
I know, when I saw this at the store, I was all like, instant buy. It smells delicious too, so I definitely already recommend it. And we're using that whole package right in there. And if that wasn't enough garlic, we have the blend seasoning, which is salt, pepper, and garlic. If you don't want too much seasoning, you can skip this step, but I like a lot of seasoning. This is a 8-quart crock pot, so it needs a lot of seasoning to make sure that all that food tastes yummy. All right, we're coming in with our chicken broth, and we are gonna add a generous amount of this chicken broth. This is a 6-cup container, so we're probably gonna add this whole entire thing right in there. We have our potatoes, our sausage, our onions, all that delicious seasoning. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a perfect cozy crock pot meal for, you know, fall or winter. It's so delicious, so easy to put together. You can honestly put this together when you're half asleep, set it in the morning, and it'll be ready for dinner time. So we're gonna go ahead and add that whole 6 cups of chicken broth, and you can do beef broth or vegetable broth if that's what you prefer, but chicken is my family's preference.
Oh, it smells so good.
It's that ranch. All right, and to make this nice and creamy, we have 1 block of cream cheese that we're just gonna put right on top, but we're not done yet because you know I love my cheese, and we picked out some sharp cheddar cheese here, and we're gonna freshly grate it to make sure that it gets nice and melty. So we're just gonna put that right on top and start grating our cheese right into our crock pot super quick. Oh my goodness. Now you can use whatever cheese you like. I just think sharp cheddar goes beautifully with ranch and with that sausage, but you could do a mozzarella, a Monterey Jack, a Colby Jack, a whatever cheese you prefer. So let's get about half of this grated and into our crock pot. All right, that's about half the block that we grated in there. And I did mean to mix this before I added the cheeses, but it's better late than never. So we're gonna go ahead and mix everything together. It's okay if that cream cheese gets a little lost in there, because once it gets nice and melty, we'll give this another mix. But look how delicious this looks. All of that chicken broth makes this seamless to mix together. So let's quickly get this nice and well combined. All right, I think this looks mixed well enough. I even broke up that cream cheese just a little bit. So let's go ahead and put our lid on, and we're gonna pop this on high, but you can pop it on warm if you're cooking it in the morning. All right, it's been 4 hours on high. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Let's check it out. Woohoo!
It smells amazing.
Now it's not ready yet. We gotta give it a quick stir. Make sure all of those delicious ingredients get well blended together. It smells absolutely delicious. Now we do want to thicken this up a little bit, and the easiest way to do that is just by mashing up some of those taters in there, and that will kind of give it a thicker consistency. I'm just using my potato masher. Those potatoes are perfectly cooked, and this is going to be a delicious potato soup with that sausage, those onions. Oh my. So let's just give this a nice little smash. All right. Oh, that looks perfect. One more quick mix to make sure it gets well combined. There's a little bit of separation. That must be just from some excess grease from the sausage. Oh, but look at that. That looks perfect. Such a delicious and easy soup. Oh yeah, all right. Got my bowl. And this is ready. You could add some sour cream on top, some bacon bits, some chives, but I'm just gonna eat it as is because I know it's good this way.
Is it good?
Oh yeah. That is so cozy. You guys are gonna love this. Okay, so 1 can of diced tomatoes with my 1 pound of cooked ground beef. We're gonna go ahead and turn on our stove on medium. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab some taco seasoning, and we are gonna sprinkle that right on the ground beef to add that extra flavor. Ooh, this is gonna be so good, you guys. Super easy, one pot dinner. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and grab some corn, and I did not drain this corn. We want that extra liquid for this dinner. And we're gonna put that whole can of corn right in there. Delicious. Okay, before we move on, let's give this a nice mix. Get that ground beef blended in with those tomatoes, that seasoning, that corn. Ooh, you can see all that delicious liquid in there. This is gonna be incredible. Okay, and we also wanna make sure that taco seasoning gets spreaded out all over our veggies. Okay, once that's all well mixed together, we're gonna grab some kidney beans. And if you don't like kidney beans, you can use garbanzo beans, you can use black beans, whatever beans you like. And we did not drain those as well because we need those juices for this delicious dinner. This is looking so good already. And it's kind of healthy, you know? You got that protein, you got that corn, the tomatoes, you know? It's gonna be delicious and easy. Okay. Just give that a nice mix between each ingredient. You wanna make sure that they're all covered up in that delicious juice and taco seasoning. Okay, beautiful. Now I have some condensed tomato soup, and this is really gonna add that flavor. Oh, I'm sorry, that got everywhere, but it's gonna be just as good. And you know what, to get all that extra goodness in here, I'm gonna fill this up with water real quick. Let's fill this up with some water. Turn that, and then that. Easy peasy. My girl Allie, she has the best kitchen in Vegas, I tell ya. Okay, add that water right in there, and it gets all that extra tomato soup out. Beautiful. Okay, one last mix for our delicious Mexican-inspired soup. Yep, that's what we're making. We're making a delicious one-pot soup, and it's gonna be so good. And I even cooked my ground beef in this pot, so it truly is a one-pot dish. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cover this baby up and let it simmer for 10 minutes. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Time to enjoy this deliciousness. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is gonna be so good, you guys. Okay, let's ladle this out, and then I'm gonna top mine with some oh, come on, that looks so good. I'm gonna top it with some deliciousness. I wanna make sure you get some more of that broth. Yum. So cheap and so delicious, you guys. Those cans of like veggies are just like $1 each. All right, and you guys know I cannot make anything without some cheese. You can skip this, but I am never gonna skip cheese, and that's just gonna melt right on top. And then call me crazy, I got my Fritos. These are gonna be fire with this soup. I didn't even need a spoon because I could just use my scoop, my Frito scoop. Okay. Whew. Oh yeah, that's a good bite. That is incredible. All right, those were just my smoked sausages that I cut into bite-sized pieces. Now I'm coming in with my yellow potatoes that I quartered, and these are just the mini Yukon potatoes. I have one whole white onion diced that we're placing right in there with our sausage and our potatoes all in our crock pot. Such an easy and delicious crock pot soup that we're gonna throw together today. And we have 2 jalapenos diced with the seeds. If you don't like heat, you can skip the jalapenos, but I think it really adds some beautiful flavor. All right, now we're coming in with our turnip greens, and I did drain these, and we're gonna use this whole 28-ounce can of turnip greens in our soup. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so good. We're gonna add a can of original rotel right in there. So we have our potatoes, our sausage, our onions, our jalapenos, our turnip greens, our rotel, but we are not done yet. We need to add our beans, and we're gonna add 1 can of navy beans in there. Lots of delicious beans. You can kind of switch out the beans for whatever ones you like, but I think that these ones go perfect with this dish. Oh yeah. And black-eyed peas, you know it. Making it a little bit southern today with our black-eyed peas and our turnip greens. This is gonna be so good. And you can make this on the stove top, but I love making it in my crock pot because I can set it and forget it. All right, I have 2 cups of water here because this is a soup, so we need some liquid. And we're gonna add our Better Than Bouillon chicken flavoring to our water. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons right in there. Kind of just do the best you can measuring that out. Beautiful. And we're gonna grab our whisk and mix that together to create almost like a chicken broth. It doesn't need to be perfectly mixed together, but this is our liquid for our soup, and this is gonna taste so good. You can add some additional seasonings in there as well if you want, but I'm gonna keep it super simple. This is kind of an affordable little soup that you can make because, you know, we have all those canned things and they're like $1 each. And now we're gonna drizzle our mixture right into our crock pot. Oh yeah. And don't worry, this will just get more moisture as it cooks. That's why I love the crock pot. It creates so much moisture. And we're gonna make sure to get all of that Better Than the Bouillon out. All right, now it is time to give this a good hearty mix and get everything well combined. And as you notice, I didn't add that broth because we have that water mixture, which is gonna be better than a store-made broth. And it's gonna be super flavorful with all of these ingredients in here. And like I said, it might seem like not enough liquid, but that crock pot will create liquid. This is perfect for a fall cozy night or a winter night, or you know, if you just want to set it and forget it in the morning, and then when you get home from work, you have a delicious soup dinner.
And it looks healthy too.
I mean, it has a lot of good ingredients in there. Lots of beans, lots of fiber, lots of protein. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put our lid on, and I'm popping mine on high. All right, our swamp soup has been on high for 4 hours. Let's go ahead and check it out. Oh my goodness. This looks absolutely incredible. Oh, let's just give it a nice little mix. Smells so tasty. We have all those beans in there, the potatoes, the sausage, those greens. Our soup is ready, and this is obviously a chunky soup, but what is not to love?
Oh, it smells so good. I can smell the sausage.
Yeah, it's definitely taking over the aromas. Oh my goodness, okay. Perfect little fall afternoon dinner. And if you want to cook it on low for 8 hours, set it and forget it in the morning, you do that too.
It must be good.
Wow, that is tasty. I'm definitely gonna be making this on repeat this fall. I have a pound of sausage and ground beef mixture that we're gonna add right into this. It's already pre-cooked. I cooked it in this pan already, so it has all those juices. And we are just gonna use about half of that and save the rest for another dish. I have half a cup of chopped onion that we're gonna put in there. Yummy. This is such a great winter, fall, all-in-one pan dinner. And it wouldn't be dinner without a little bit of minced garlic, so we're gonna add about a tablespoon of that. And I'm using garlic because you guys know it's my favorite. And we need a little bit more acidity, so we're gonna add our tomato paste, and this is one of those little mini jars, and we're gonna add that right on into our Dutch oven. Yummy. Beautiful. Now, of course, we have to season this up with a little bit of pepper. We're gonna add all the seasonings in there with our beef, our marinara, our onions, our tomato paste. We're gonna add some salt. You can skip it if you're worried about the sodium, but you guys know I'm not worried about it. More garlic, we're doing garlic powder. And we're just eyeballing these measurements. I like a nice flavorful dinner. For a little bit of heat, I'm doing some crushed red pepper, but if you don't like heat, you can skip it. We never skip in the heat in my house though. Beautiful. All right, we have some dried thyme leaves that we're gonna add as well. This is gonna add some great herb-like flavors. Yum. Last but certainly not least, we're adding some oregano leaves, and this is the dried kind. Go ahead and get that all in there. Now I have some beef broth here, and I just had about 3 cups left of this container, so we're gonna add this whole entire thing right into our pot with all of that goodness. And we can kind of see this coming together. And I'm using the 50% less sodium, which is why I added all the extra salt in there. And that wasn't enough liquid, so I'm also gonna add some chicken broth because I already had it. And we're gonna add about 4 cups of chicken broth, so this entire box. And this is also the less sodium version, but you can use whatever version you like. They even have a spicy chicken broth now at the store, so you could even use that if that's what you want. We're getting that all in there. Ooh, it's starting to smell really, really good. All right, we're gonna give this a nice hearty mix, and we're gonna turn up our heat because we want this to start to simmer, but make sure you break up that tomato paste, get everything well combined. Ooh, this is gonna be delicious. All right, once that's mixed, we can put our lid on and let that start to simmer. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Let's check this out. Oh my goodness, that smells incredible. Let's give it one quick little mix. All those flavors all together, yummy. But this is not done yet. We are gonna grab our uncooked lasagna noodles and break it apart and put them right into our lasagna soup. Yep, you heard that right. We're making lasagna soup. And this is such an easy, great winter soup that you just throw all in one pot. No need to pre-cook your noodles because the soup will do the job and it will add so much flavor to our pasta. All right, let's get all of our 12 pieces in there. All right, we have all of our pasta in there and it's already starting to cook. But in order to make sure that that gets fully cooked, we're mixing it and then we're gonna put that lid right back on. All right, it's been 5 minutes. We're gonna check on that pasta. Oh yeah, it's like perfectly al dente. But we're not done yet. Last but certainly not least, we are gonna add some spinach. And we're gonna make sure that gets nice and wilted. That looks like plenty. Go ahead and mix that in. Oh, you gotta add the greens so that it's a complete meal. And as we mix that in, that spinach is just gonna cook. It cooks so quick, which is why we add it at the very, very end. We still have our pot on simmer. And I know I said last but not least, but this is a lasagna soup. So of course, we're gonna need some cheese. Every lasagna needs ricotta. And we're just gonna grab our ice cream scoop and we are gonna scoop our ricotta right into our soup so it can get all melty and delicious. Obviously you could do this per serving, but everyone in my family loves ricotta. So that's what I'm doing. Do one more right in there. Oh, that's gonna be so good. Now this is ready to serve. Oh my goodness, I have my bowl and spoon ready. Go ahead and fill that up. Beautiful. Top mine with some shredded mozzarella. And it is time to give this a try. Ooh, the perfect fall soup. Hands down, best soup. You guys have to try this. All right, those were my raw pork meatballs in my crock pot. Now I'm coming in with one yellow onion that we diced, and we're gonna sprinkle that right on top of our meatballs. Next, I'm coming in with one red bell pepper that we diced, and that's going right in the crock pot with those other tasty ingredients. This is gonna be such an easy and delicious crock pot dinner. Now I have 4 medium carrots that I sliced, and that's gonna go right in there. Ooh, this is looking delicious. Next, I'm coming in with my crushed tomato, and we only need 14 ounces, so I'm gonna go ahead and measure out 14 ounces of our crushed tomato. I couldn't find a smaller can, so if you can, get the smaller can. Perfect, all of that in our crock pot. Now I'm gonna quickly season this up with my Italian seasoning, and we're gonna season this pretty heavy. Those meatballs did come pre-seasoned, but we want seasonings for those veggies, for those tomatoes, all of that goodness. And this is a big crock pot. This is gonna make a nice hearty serving. And of course, we have to do salt. Now, if you don't salt your dishes, I am sorry, but I am not coming over and trying your cooking. I absolutely need salt in all of my dinner dishes. All right, now to add a little flavor to this, I have my Cabernet, and we're only gonna add half a cup of Cabernet into this. And now remember, this is gonna cook out, so you do not have to worry about the actual percentage of the alcohol. It's all for flavor. Beautiful. Now the last thing we're gonna add to this crock pot is our chicken broth. And we're gonna add 5 cups of chicken broth to this. Go ahead and pour that evenly into our crock pot with our meatballs, our carrots, our onions, all of that deliciousness, the bell pepper, the tomatoes, that Cabernet. Ooh, it smells strong and delicious. Now you can use pre-cooked meatballs to cut this time in half, but I absolutely love those pre-made meatballs from Kroger, and they're gonna cook beautifully in our crock pot. Okay, I think we're almost there. This is 6 cups, so I gotta leave a cup in there. Perfect. Okay, you guys, that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and put my lid on here, and we're gonna pop this on high. All right, it's been 3 hours on high. We're gonna keep this on high, and let's check this out. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Let's give this a nice little mix. Let's look at those meatballs. Oh, still intact.
Perfectly cooked too.
Okay, let's go ahead and add our next ingredient, which is fresh spinach. And this one is already washed and ready to eat. And we are going to add a generous amount of spinach into our crock pot. Now we add the spinach later because we don't want it to overcook. And I think I'm gonna add about half of that bag in there. That looks absolutely beautiful. And then the last thing, just like the spinach, we don't want this to overcook. We're adding our pasta, and this is just 1 pound of pasta. Putting that right in there with our spinach and our meatball soup. It is time to give this a good mix. Get everything well combined together. Make sure that pasta is covered in our juices. Oh,
look
everything.
at the spinach. It's already shrinking.
So good. I know, we need to make sure it doesn't clump up like that. That is fully engulfed. And like I said, we kept this on high, and we're gonna go ahead and put our lid on for just 30 more minutes. All right, it's been 30 minutes. Let's pop this on warm and check it out. Woohoo! Look at how delicious that looks.
It looks pretty amazing, babe.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that pasta is perfect. Oh my, I want one more meatball. That looks so good. We got the meatballs, the carrots, the onions, the pasta, the spinach, everything you want and more. Let's cut open in one of these meatballs.
Moment of truth.
Perfectly cooked.
Nice.
All right, that looks absolutely delicious.